Hey, yo. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was actually just about to go to bed. But apparently we got the refines and the data mines are coming up in just a moment. So before I go to bed, let's go ahead and knock these out. Alright, so we will start with the refines as usual, and then we'll move on to the rest of the data mines for the ninja heroes once that happens. Alright, hopefully Pirate Tibar gets some good stuff. Guinevere, hopefully she gets some good stuff after the travesty that was legendary Guinevere. And then hopefully Thor gets something good as well, because I actually have a lot of merges on her, and she's a thick baddie. So let's start over here. We're going to start with Deepar. Okay, a.k.a. Dethorba. I'm never going to stop calling her Deepar, I guess. So, inflicts speed and defense -5 on foes in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit. Those foes can't make a follow-up, and those foes suffer guaranteed follow-ups during combat. Alright, kind of like a Crux skill mixed in with a range skill, but also with Wary Fighter as well. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack -5 on the foe, and reduce damage from foe's first attack by 40% during combat, including their brave attack. And then for her effect refine, we have Canto Rem +1. The unit initiates combat or is in 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack speed and defense -5 on the foe. Neutralize foe's bonuses to attack speed and defense. And unit deals +X times 4 damage during combat. X is number of allies in 3 spaces a unit, plus the number of foes in 3 spaces a target, including the target, with a max of 16, excluding on AoEs. Okay, so we put it all together, and how does it look for her? Let's see here. So we have the Rain / Crux / Wary Fighter effect. Got some pierceable DR, which is absolutely useless. Attack -5 is not useless, though. That's still helpful. Alright, then Canto Rem. Attack speed and defense -5 again. Nullifies attack speed and defense bonuses, and then 16 points of true damage effectively. It's not awful for a GHB unit, honestly. Like, Deepar went into this being a complete nobody in terms of her Fey usability. And I think now she's at least a somebody. Maybe not the best somebody, but she can at least do some stuff. So, decent Grand Hero Battle Refine. Okay, next up we have Jill up next. Alright, so Jill, everybody's favorite Fitsart from Tellius. So we got here -1 special trigger. Unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally. Grants attack and speed up 6. Grants special cooldown charge +1 per attack. Unit initiates, guaranteed follow-up before foe can counterattack. All this, besides the special acceleration, seems pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure she had attack and speed up 6 and desperation prior to this as well. Okay, and then the effect refine is Canto Rem +1. At the start of turn, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally with a range of 1, grants attack and speed up 6. Unit can move 1 extra space and no follow-up to unit and allies with a range of 1 in 3 spaces a unit for 1 turn. Okay, that's pretty helpful. Basically a better snap skill for the most part. That includes cavalry with a range of 1, doesn't it? Like, melee calves can get +1 movement from this. That's pretty dirty. Okay, and then also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack and speed up 6 and deals 20% bonus damage based on speed during combat. Okay, overall, I don't think there's enough here. Like, she would have needed... I'm not going to lie to you guys. She would have needed, like, 3 other effects. Compared to what units are doing right now, she would have needed, like, 3 more things on top of what she's already doing. But for what it is, I think it's pretty solid. The cheeky +1 movement to melee calves is pretty nice. Although there are other ways you can do that. I think Attuned Azura does that as well on her dance. So it's not like that's that rare of an effect. But she's certainly a lot better than she was before the refine, which, I mean, that's really all we can ask for with these old units. Okay, so there we go for Jill. Alright, next up is Shamir. So, -1 special trigger, effective against flying. If unit initiates or number of allies adjacent to unit are less than or equal to 1, grants attack and speed up 6. Grants -1 special cooldown before first attack. Rally Spectrum Light, basically. And then if foe's HP is over 50%, foe can't counterattack. They buffed that. Before, she needed to win a speed check, I believe, to get her fire sweep. So now it's just if the foes are above half HP, which is a lot better. And, oh, wow, 1 page, Shamir? Come on. Everybody else has been 2 pages so far. At the start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflict speed and defense -7 and sabotage on the closest foes and foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. Alright, Omni debuffing is pretty good. And then also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack and speed up 6, neutralizes penalties to attack and speed, and deals 20% bonus damage based on speed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to defer to Jill on this one. I think Jill is better than Shamir. Actually, was Jill better than Deepar? Huh. They're a little bit closer. I would say Deepar is probably worse. I think Jill so far has the best one. Okay, let's move on to Tibar now. Now, Tibar is, of course, very popular character. So, -1 special trigger. Number of adjacent allies other than beasts or dragons is less than or equal to 1, or if unit is transformed. Grants attack and speed up 5, and inflicts attack -5 on the foe. Makes a guaranteed follow-up, reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half, and recover 7 HP after combat. Also, at the start of turn, if... basically flying beast transformation. If you're adjacent to only beasts or dragons or nobody, then you get attack up 2 and +1 move. Okay, and now what else do we have here? Start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflict speed and defense -7, exposure, and frozen. Ooh. On the closest foes and foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. Okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 5 to unit, deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack, and neutralizes effects that inflict guard on unit during combat. He's okay. I mean, certainly Frozen is a nice effect. And he's getting +5 speed on the first part of his weapon, and then he's doing some speed and defense drops to the foe. He's getting more speed over there, so he might be able to do some stuff with Frozen. The problem, here's the problem, though, with these refines we're looking at. These units are getting 1 or 2 interesting effects. Like, Jill's got the +1 move. Deepar has got the Rain/Crux/Wary Fighter support. And, this guy now, he's got Frozen. But, and units need to be doing, 5 other effects outside of just one interesting thing in order for them to really compete right now. So... unfortunate as that may be, I think he's interesting. He's got Frozen, but, where's the rest of it, is what I'm trying to get at here. Okay, Guinevere is up next. I'm starting to lose hope as we continue on through these refines. Grants Res up 3, effective against magic, recovers 7 HP to unit and allies in 2 spaces. If unit initiates combat or if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5. Disables foes' adaptive damage. Unit deals X damage, excluding on AoEs. And reduce damage from foes' first attack by 40% of X. X is the highest total bonuses among unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit. And it includes their brave attack. Okay, this is a little better. Yes, because we're getting true damage reduction here, as well as true damage. So that's good. Okay, and then also at the start of turn, if unit's HP, or... if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants speed and res up 6 and neutralize penalties on unit during combat to unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Okay, supporting effects there. And then also, if foe initiates combat or foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants attack all stats of 5 to unit, neutralizes guard, and inflicts guard on the foe per attack. Okay, this one, maybe, because she's getting true DR here, and then you can, of course, give her a Lagoose Friend. She is an infantry type, so her good res can be put to use, and then she's also effective against Tome, which is one of the best effective types that you can really be. So, man, I think she's in a better spot than everybody else. She seems better on paper. But being good on paper and being good in actuality are 2 different things. So I'm going to actually reserve judgment. I think she's probably the best one we've looked at so far, but it's still probably a little underwhelming compared to what recent units do. All right, so here we go. We have the Mythic Heroes to wrap us up, the remixes. All right, Thor, my juicy baddie. Let's see what you got. So, -1 special trigger, effective against armor. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack up 6, inflicts attack -6 on the foe. Guaranteed follow-up, 15% true damage based on attack, and nullify foes' bonuses during combat. Okay, so far so good. All right, then we have Kanto 2. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack up 6, inflicts attack -6 on the foe, reduces damage from foes' attacks by 15% of attack, excluding on AoEs, and unit's next attack deals damage equal to total damage reduced from foes' first attack. And also, when special triggers, neutralizes enemy DR from non-special skills. Okay, you combine this with World Breaker 2, and I think we're getting somewhere. This is definitely a lot better. So she's at attack up 12, attack -12 for the foe. We got Kanto 2, we got Omni Lull, 15% bonus damage based on attack, as well as true DR based on attack. And then we nullify DR on special, but most people just give her a Gale Force anyway, so like that's kind of a moot point. But I guess it gives her more options. Like, if you want her to be a tank buster, you go ahead and give her a big damaging special instead. Like Boulder, I guess, from the new Diamond. Assuming Boulder is going to be available to flyers. It might be infantry only, but if it's for sword lances and axes, then Boulder would be nice here. Yeah, okay, this one, I think this is probably the best one now. Better than Guinevere. They've been getting progressively better as we've been going on. So maybe we saved the best for last. All right, Otur, let's see what you got. Attack up 3, Kanto 3 from turns 1 to 4. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack up 6, inflicts attack -6. Guaranteed follow-up, blocking enemy follow-up. Also, when unit special trigger, nullifies DR. Okay. And then at the start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants terrain bypassing and incited to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. Okay. All right, Caden Lindy's stocks dropping. Meanwhile, Otur stocks are on the rise, I guess. Terrain bypassing is a nice effect in certain Summoner Duels maps, because they like to go trench tile happy a lot of the times in those maps. So being able to bypass terrain is nice, and then incited is really good still. And then also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack, defense, and res up 5 to unit. Inflicts a penalty on enemies' attack and defense equal to the current bonus on each of foes' stats ×2. Okay, we flip their bonuses into penalties. And then deals 20% bonus damage based on defense. I mean, his support is nice. Terrain bypassing support is nice. Mainly for Cavs, but like... Yeah, Caden Lindy already does that, though. And then we do have other units that can give incited support as well. Oh, man. I feel like I like Thor more than this guy. He can pre-charge his special multiple times, right? So it's like from turns 1 to 4, he just pre-charges Brutal Shell on Brutal Shell 2. He's okay, I guess. Like, I think Thor definitely won. Thor for sure won, and then in second place, it's either this guy or Guinevere. And then everybody else got like one interesting thing, but nothing else really to compete, which is really unfortunate. So there we go for the refines. Join me in a moment, and we will come back to what the data mines are for the ninja units.